The OnePlus 12 is a phone that definitely surprised me, and after using it, I think now is the good time to give you guys my true and honest opinions. Now, my opinions might make you happy, they might make you sad, they might make you mad, but as always, they are my opinions, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So let's start by talking about the actual design. Now, a part of me really likes this design, and another part of me really does not like this design at all. Now, in terms of the actual back design, this is something that I actually really like. You know, in a world where phones are becoming very basic and very boring looking, the OnePlus 12 with its green sparkling design does add some nice eye candy, and the camera housing also looks very unique and, well, it is something new. Now, the thing that I'm not a fan of is, well, there's actually two of them. So the first of which is that this phone, it has got to be, like, I think this should be on the Guinness World Book of Records for the most slippery phone ever. Like I could not believe how slippery this phone is. Using this phone without a case, you have almost no grip. My fingers, I'm not over, like, exaggerating this. They're just slipping and sliding all over the place. I went on Amazon, I bought like this cheap $11 case. So with the case on, so much better. You have a lot more grip, but that's just one of the things that I don't like. I don't know what OnePlus did with the actual like frosted glass of this back, but they really need to do something because this is the most slippery phone that I have ever used, and I'm not even joking. So another thing I'm not really a fan of, and I think a lot of you guys aren't as well, because we see a lot of the big named companies moving away from this design feature, whereas OnePlus has kind of stuck with it, and that of course is that curved display. I'm not really a fan of it. It's just, it was cool, like, you know, 5-6 years ago. It was something new. It was a way to make the phone stand out. But now, you know, with practicality, especially with screen protectors, having a curved display is just not really the best design choice. In my opinion, I could be wrong. I don't know. Let me know your opinion down below. But, you know, the good thing is like, you know, like I said, with the case on, you don't really feel the curve to the actual screen, but you still see it, especially with like the distortions as you're like bending the light. You see a lot of distortion on the sides, so that's also another reason I'm not really a big fan of curved displays. I just like my display nice and flat. Now, the actual display tech of the OnePlus 12 is incredibly impressive. It gets very bright. You will not have an issue viewing your content even when you're outside in the bright sun. The phone does go up to 4,500 nits of peak HDR brightness, so the HDR movies simply pop with color and brightness, and it just looks really, really good. And as far as the refresh rate goes, well, the panel is LTPO, so it goes from 1 Hz up to 120 Hz for when you're scrolling or playing games. And the thing I love about OnePlus, and again, I'm just being honest with you guys, no one's paying me to say this, OnePlus didn't pay me a penny, I bought this phone with my own money, but the thing I notice always with OnePlus phones is just how smooth they feel. In fact, when I bought the OnePlus 12, believe it or not, like I know you guys probably won't believe me, or maybe you will, but the fact is, I did not know anything about this phone when I bought it. It kind of was released under the radar for me. I didn't really care that much for it. All I know is, hey, it's a new OnePlus phone. I like them. Let me buy it. I did not know anything about this phone, like, honest to God. So whenever I unboxed it, the phone feels so smooth, I actually thought it was over 120 Hertz. I thought it was 144. I actually had to go on Google and look it up, but no, it's still 120 Hertz LTPO display. But it's just the way that, like, OnePlus optimizes their software with the hardware, and it just works so good. This phone is so smooth. And speaking of software, OxygenOS might be just the most fun operating system, at least from all the phones that I've tried here in the States. So if you're a fan of Android and you've been playing around with Android for a little bit of time now, you know how you can enable developer mode, right? You click the build number fast 7 times, you put in your password, boom, you have the developer options. And in the developer options, you can change the animation speed and all the app closing speeds just to make the phone feel a little bit faster. But all that is kind of hidden away behind a menu that you can't even get to without you first having to click the build number fast 7 times in a row. You know what I mean? Like, no average person is gonna figure that out accidentally. Well, on OnePlus phones, that setting isn't hidden under developer settings. It actually has its own setting that it's kind of right there in your face. You cannot miss it. And then same thing with changing the way your home screen looks like. All the settings are in your face, so for the average consumer, it's easy to find. If you want to change the way your icons look, no problem. You want to get rid of the app names for a cleaner interface? No problem. Want to make all the app names bigger or smaller? No problem. You want to change the way scrolling through multiple pages looks like? Again, not a problem. This phone is so customizable, it feels like it's running like Nova Launcher or any other like third-party launcher. It's really fun to use. I also really like how OnePlus gives you the freedom to do like whatever you want. You know, it has features that I think all phones should have, but no phones, at least here in the States, have this feature, and I do not know why. It seems like the most basic feature that all phones should have. And of course, I am talking about the ability to lock any app you want away from prying eyes and only using your password or your face to actually unlock the app. No third-party downloads necessary, no other settings need to be changed. You just simply turn it on, pick whatever apps you want to lock to your thumb, to your fingerprint or your face. That's it. This makes so much sense. Like, why isn't this a thing on every phone? But that's not even it. For your ultimate security, there's something called System Cloner, and the best way I can describe it is, for example, you have this thumbprint and this thumbprint enrolled into your OnePlus, right? So if you open up the phone with your right thumbprint, it opens up to your normal apps, your normal phone, like your normal day-to-day phone, right? Everything's your stuff, your photos, your videos, your apps, everything is yours. But if you open up the phone using your left thumbprint, then it opens up to a completely different phone. Think of it as a guest user on a PC or Mac or, you know, whatever else. It's basically like a guest user type of interface. So all your apps are not there, your photos are not there, your videos are not there, your banking apps are not there, nothing is there. And best of all, if no one knows about the system cloner, no one would really ask you, okay, now try opening up your phone with your other thumb. You know what I mean? Like no one's gonna do that. Only you know that. That's awesome. Again, it's the very basic things that like we seem to have totally forgotten about, and we just accepted, oh, we don't have that, that's fine. But then when you actually start using it, you start questioning, wait, but why don't all phones have this? Honestly, OxygenOS has been super fun to use. It's one of those operating systems that if you don't really want to tinker with, no problem, you don't have to, just use the phone as is. But if you actually want to make your phone, you know, since you paid for it, it's your phone, if you want to do that, you can. The cameras on this phone are also something that I really enjoy. You know, most phones nowadays use a ton of sharpening to make the photo look good, but OnePlus has historically used very little sharpening since they started partnering with Hasselblad. The photos look super true to life with amazing HDR and great color reproduction, especially with 10-bit color enabled. The ultra-wide camera is great, although it's not as wide as something like the iPhone 15 or the S24 series, but it still goes wide enough for most scenarios, you know, at least in my opinion. And of course, the telephoto camera is also fantastic. It is at that 3x zoom level, which I guess many people love, since many people also complained that the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the S24 Ultra ditched the 3x in favor of the 5x. I honestly do not have any issues with the camera system of this phone except for video. You still cannot record 4K 60 across all the lenses. You can't switch between all the lenses while recording in 4K 60. This is something that the Pixel 8 Pro can do. This is something that the S24 Ultra can do, however, not the S24 or S24 Plus. And of course, this is something that the iPhone 15 series can do, but the OnePlus, you can't. That's kind of unfortunate because this phone definitely is capable of it. So OnePlus, please add it, maybe in a software update, fingers crossed. Now the battery life on the OnePlus 12 has honestly been the best battery life that I've ever used on any phone consistently. See, that's the key word, consistently. For example, the S24 Ultra, yeah, it does get me around 8 hours of screen on time, but then randomly the next day I would only get 6 hours of screen on time, even though I don't really notice myself using any app more than the day before. I'm just using my phone like I normally would. Same thing with my iPhone 15 Pro Max. One day the battery life is like, oh my god, it's running a nuclear power plant, apparently. And then the next day it's like, oh, it's running a AA battery. But consistently, the OnePlus 12 has given me the best battery life. I'm constantly getting over 8 hours, in fact, even 9 hours of screen on time. That is just mind-blowing from a flagship phone with a flagship processor with 16 gigabytes of RAM. That is very, very impressive, especially with the always-on display turned on and with that crazy high brightness level. Whatever OnePlus did, man, they did a really good job with the battery life. But let's say you actually managed to destroy the phone's battery less than a day and you really need to charge up really fast because you're going out and you totally forgot to put the phone on the charger. Not a problem. With the included power brick, that's right. Hey, Samsung, okay, Google, Apple, what's up? Yeah, this phone has an 80-watt power brick in the box that you paid for. It's in the box. You plug it in, 0 to 50% in 12 minutes. 12 minutes. 50%. You get 50% of your battery in 12 minutes and 100% of your battery in around 28 minutes. That is, again, that's something that is just not heard of here in the States. In fact, the battery life is so good, I never even put the phone on the charger at night when I'm sleeping because I just don't need to. I simply wake up with the phone still being at around 20% of battery life from the day before, and then I plug it in, I do my normal morning routine, I wash my face, brush my teeth, go make some coffee. By the time I'm done doing all that, boom, the phone's at 100%. It's something that you don't even think about. It just happens. It's like magic. The best thing is the way the battery is designed and the way the power brick is designed, there's actually very little heat that actually goes to the phone. Like the phone does not get any warmer than my iPhone charging at 20 watts or my S24 Ultra charging at 45 watts. It doesn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary, and that of course is good because the cooler your phone stays over a longer period of time, that's very good for your battery health again as the years go on. The OnePlus 12 kind of checks all the boxes for me as a normal day-to-day user. It's incredibly smooth, the fantastic cameras, insane battery life, and super fast charging, along with a beautiful display. I haven't run into any issues with this, no weird bugs, no glitches. The only true thing that I don't like about this phone is just the display. I don't like curved display. Oh wait, actually no, I lied. The display I don't like, and just how you could even hear it just doesn't even feel good. Look, check this out. You can hear, right? And then look, let me get my S24 Ultra. You can even hear the difference. This is just so much more grippy compared to, yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. To be honest, I really don't. But I use a case with this phone, but I really don't like it. That's it. Those are the only two things that I don't like about this phone. The price tag, $800, $900, that's insane for what you're getting. Honestly, that is just wild. And you're also getting that really fun operating system where you can make your phone. You can customize your phone how you like it or leave it alone. You can lock apps. You can make a whole different phone inside of your phone. There's just a lot going for this phone, and it's really hard to hate it. Oh, and I forgot to mention, see, I already put a case on it before the camera cut because I really don't like the way this phone feels, man. But the alert slider, what a genius thing. Honestly, OnePlus, never get rid of it, please. That's kind of it. That's my review of the OnePlus 12. I love it. There's really nothing to hate about this phone. It does everything I need when I want it to without doing anything that I don't expect it to do. It's cheap, well, in comparison to, you know what I mean, right? In comparison to that, and honestly, spec for spec, I think it kind of beats the Pixel 8 Pro. I'm just being honest. Don't kill me. Just being honest. You guys follow me because I'm honest? Here you go. Oops. But I think it really does. If you guys want me to make a comparison against the Pixel 8 Pro, let me know down below. I'll do my best. And if you guys did enjoy today's video, definitely leave that like. It's absolutely free to you, but it helps me and the channel out a lot, and I always truly appreciate it. And if you are new here and you like these no BS types of reviews, definitely subscribe. And as always, this was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.